Hello friends, Future Noelle here. I am popping in before this video to tell you that I had every intention of filming the rest of this Q&A and then also showing a bunch of other stuff that I did this week. But then this Q&A was like 45 minutes long and I've already filmed 30 minutes getting my hair to this state. So, and I'm not even done and I'm not even packed. So I think what I'm gonna do is just give you another Q&A video. And so you're gonna get 2 videos again this week. So that's what's happening. So enjoy the rest of this Q&A and leave your comments down below and let me know how you liked it. And if you have any commentary slash, you know, want to answer those questions yourself, please do so. Just like last time. A really good time in the comment section with you guys for the last Q&A, so I was really happy with it. Alright, I'm sending you back to it now. Hey friends, welcome to another vlog, maybe? I'm gonna do the rest of this Q&A, hopefully. I have a million more questions though, so I'm kind of worried that this is gonna morph into its own monster. I'm gonna try to get through these as quickly as possible so that I can actually like fit in some wig styling into this also, so it is of some actual value to you. I have my phone here, it has a lot of the questions on it, so I will be looking at that periodically, so hopefully that doesn't offend you. I amassed a speed round of easy questions to handle, so I'm going to do those first, just to warm up with. I have not actually thought through the answers to any of these though, so hopefully this goes well. You know how rambly I get super rambly. What is your favorite fashion era? Bustle, obviously, but like 1876-ish. Those bustles changed a lot really fast, right? And so you have about 20 years of bustles to deal with, but there's some weird natural form stuff in the middle, which, I don't know, it's still a bustle dress. Anyway, you could even really go into the early 90s with some of it, in that it had a bustle pad or something, but 1876. Oh, also the 90s, because I am a child of grunge. Like, I am comfortable in like basically jeans, a t-shirt, and a flannel. I really want plaid flannels to come back. Like, every other horrible fashion has come back. Why can't I get a plaid flannel? So I'm waiting for that to show up at some point soon. If you had all the resources, time, skills, what would be your dream dress outfit? In 1876. Crazy, just ridiculous, huge train bustle dress, probably. It's not really, if I had I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. I don't know when, but it will happen. Like, I will be the biggest and poofiest, grandest person. Like, I might be just like even extra with it and just add some extra for flavor. Team peanut butter or team Nutella? Ooh, that's rough. I'm like team both, but I guess Nutella. I mean, I do love peanut butter. I love specific peanut butter. I love peanut butter with peanuts in it, like crunchy, like, yeah. What are the names of all of your cats? Aries, Dakota, Ramona, Roxy, Scott, Keanu, and Charlotte, in that order of age. How many ear piercings do you have? I have 14. 14. I have 3 tiny ones here and then 2 more, so that's 5. And then I have 4 here, 3 here, and 2 here. That's 14. I didn't really realize it was that many until I actually counted them for this situation. Seems like a little bit excessive, yeah. What is your least favorite fashion era? I'm not really a fan of Regency. I'll do it. I mean, obviously I have done it, so it's okay. 1830s, everybody loves it, and I love it on other people. I just really don't want to do it. I violently detest Edwardian also. Like early Edwardian, like pigeon breast, S-bend corset Edwardian is not my jam. Like, no, I'm not into that. It looks really great on other people, like Bernadette and Kathy, like, oh, yeah, perfect. Those are perfect people to wear that. On me, no. Also, the 20s look really bad on me. It's really just anything I look bad in, now that I think about it. There are certain eras that are just designed for apples and they rock, an apple can be like completely rockin', and then there are eras that like the highest of fashion is only flattered by a svelte shape, shall we say. Which period are you interested in exploring but haven't yet? Probably more 18th century. I've done 2 dresses now. And I would like to do more because they seem awesome and comfortable, and I would like to make a whole bunch of little jackety kind of things and, you know, maybe wear them on the daily anyway. Who's your favorite Disney sidekick? Dude, the genie. Like, does anybody say anything but the genie? Like, the genie is the most badass sidekick of all genies. First of all, he's funny. Second of all, he's like your bestie. And third of all, he's got phenomenal cosmic powers and itty bitty living space. Is there another one? Like, do I have a favorite costume drama? I really like the Buccaneers. Like, I love costume dramas. I mean, obviously I named my channel Costuming Drama as like a play on that. I love costume dramas. Yeah, I really like Victoria also. Oh, Victoria. That show's great on PBS if you guys watch that. I like The Crown. I like them all, but honestly the Buccaneers was the one that was like, Daniel Geronda's really good too. My friends turned me onto that, so yeah. Okay, that's the end of the speed round, so now we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty long answer form stuff. So I realized in the last Q&A, someone asked me, am I considering doing more mashups and other periods? And I kind of didn't answer that. I answered like what I'd already done, which is the dumbest of all answers. So the answer is like, yeah, of course. I love mashups. I think they're super fun, and I will probably always continue to like want to do those. So yeah, that's gonna happen. I don't know what though. All right, I have this crazy long email of questions, so we'll see how far we can get. What's one crafting or / sewing related skill you wish you had time to learn but are okay not adding to your skill set? Like lace making and tatting? No, I'm out. Like, I don't need to know that. I would like to. It'd be cool. Like, it'd be awesome to make my own lace. I am never gonna make time for that. I have so many other things in my life I want to do. So I will just pay people exorbitantly for the lace that they spend all their time making. How do you decide to purchase pieces over making them? That's a great question. So if it's out of my wheelhouse, I don't know how to do it, and I don't really want to learn like lace making, I will just buy the thing. It also depends on time. If I'm like running out of time, like could I have made the necklaces that I ordered? Yeah, probably. But do I really want to spend the time to do that? No, not really. Could I have, you know, could I have figured out the curls thing for the hair? Yeah, of course I could have. But I didn't want to spend the time on it. My time is worth whatever it's worth to me, like, you know, and so I want to make sure that I spend it in the most productive way possible to advance the skill set that I have and also accomplish the goal that I have, which is like getting to X place in X outfit. So I decide based on that. I also sort of weigh like how much the thing would cost to make versus how much it would cost to get it made, and decide from there. Like, if I'm gonna order a necklace and it's $40 and I'm gonna spend $25 on stuff to get it, and it's gonna keep someone else in business and I'm not gonna have to spend time doing it, I just go fine, whatever. Like a dress that's gonna cost me, you know, hundreds if not thousands of dollars to get it made, of course I'm gonna make that myself because it's more cost effective for me to do it myself. Although maybe not, but it's also something I want to learn. So, I mean, I guess that's the short answer of how I decide. How do you deal with fails and frustration? Do you try harder? Do you put it away? Do you go for more research or ask for help? I think cathyH spoke on this one, but how do you deal with it? I mean, you've seen me deal with some of it. It depends on what it is. If I really have no idea what I'm doing, I go ask for help. And I find someone who's an expert in it and I get help. Like if I get stuck on a bonnet, I'm gonna ask Lynn how to do the thing. If I get stuck on a sleeve, I'm gonna go to my friends and be like, hey, can you help me pattern some new sleeves? Stuff like that. If it's something that I'm just like not gelling with at the moment, which is a thing that happens actually more than anything else, more than me not being able to figure out how to make it, it's just like, it's just not working for me. That I will just like sort of put aside for a little while. Maybe I'll go do some other part of another costume and then come back to it. You guys watched me on my whiteboard move all over the place. Like I went back and forth between all of these outfits for a really long time. And I actually saved the stuff that I am pretty comfortable doing into the last things, because those are things that I know how long they're gonna take and I know what it's gonna take to make them, and I don't think I'm gonna need extra time for like getting stuck. So I sort of like to keep a bunch of stuff on the plate at once so I can move back and forth if I'm getting frustrated with something. And frequently I find out that when I come back to it after setting it down for a while, it sort of has resolved itself. And I realized like, oh, that wasn't really that hard if I had just like let go of my own mental block. It's kind of like what I was trying to say in my last video, which was like, a lot of the stuff's in your head. Okay, let me backtrack. A lot of this stuff is in my head. Like when I get stuck on stuff, I'm not really that stuck. I'm stuck, not the thing. So like my brain is stuck and I can't unstick it. And so it's just in my head. And really what I need is like a palate cleanse to like get something else under my belt that's successful. And it also gives me time to like ruminate on the thing just a little bit. And I don't know, things sort of bake on the back burner in my head a lot. And so I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh, that's not that hard, I should just do X. And then I'll come in the next day and it'll take me 5 minutes and I'll spend far more time complaining about it and like trying to figure it out and like worrying about it than it actually just took me to do it if I just sat down to do it. Sometimes you just need a minute to like get yourself in the right headspace, because it's mostly, most things are in your head and they are, you know, headspace issues. At least they are for me. So that's how I deal with things mostly. I just sort of come back to them, or if I'm really like intimidated by something, I'll do everything around it first. Like I did not want to put the buttons on Watson. I just didn't want to do it. It took me like, I have literally more video footage of me complaining or worrying or saying that I didn't want to do the buttons, or saying I was gonna do the buttons and then not doing the buttons, than it took me to just do the buttons. Like when I sat down to do it, it took me like 20 minutes to put in 20 buttonholes. It was like no big deal. So yeah, I just get worked up in my head about nothing, and it's costuming drama. Where do you go for inspiration? Do you create any sort of mood board or vision board? No, I don't. Frequently I just see it in my head and I don't really know how to explain that. It's mostly I go to the fabric. Like I was saying in the last video, I choose sort of the outfit I make based on the fabric that I found. And that's a little bit easier for me. Because I'll find some beautiful fabric and I'll be like, oh, that I can just see what that's gonna look like. So then that picture's in my head and I don't really have to do anything else. I don't get along well with Pinterest, and I don't know what my deal is, but I find it really irritating. I find like most people find it irritating because it like lacks sourcing and stuff like that, although people are getting better about that. But it's just, Pinterest is for some reason not my jam. I will go do some internet research on sometimes if I want to see like what a bunch of other things look like. And frequently I can't find anything that looks like what I want to make, and so I just go at what's out of my head. No, I don't make a mood board. I think they're super useful and I think they're really pretty and stuff, but I also think, as you can tell, I'm kind of a just do it person, and mood boards and stuff for me are not part of my process, and therefore they seem like a waste of time. I do not in any way think that mood boards are a waste of time if that's part of your process. Like if your process is to make a mood board, then that is time well spent. It's just not really part of my process, and I don't know why. I tried it once and I got so wrapped up in what the mood board looked like and how that was set up that I lost track of the dress, you know. So yeah, that's not my jam. I get my inspiration largely, sometimes it's pictures, sometimes it's like movies. I look at my fashion plates. There's fashion plates all on that wall. I look at other fashion plates a lot to see. YouTube and Instagram are awesome for inspiration, so just kind of from everywhere really. Yeah. Do you ever make or want to make your own everyday wearable clothing, or do you only want to make costuming pieces? That's a rough one. Like, do I want to make it? Yeah, I do. Am I going to? No, probably not. I want to make costume pieces first, mostly. Sometimes I dream about like making a little jacket, like a little caraco jacket, caraco, whatever, however you say that. I dream about making one of those jackets. It really looks like my dress is like forming out of my head right now in my little viewfinder. It's very funny to me. Squirrel. Yeah, so I'm like, what was the question? Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I might eventually, but for right now I'm just gonna make costumes because that seems like fun. This was kind of funny, somebody in the comments before was like, when I made that tutorial about my trim board, they were like, hey, make a tutorial about a a ham or whatever. And I was just like, no, I want to make dresses. And they were like, oh, right. Okay, fair enough. It was just really funny interaction. Would you consider historical cross-dressing guy's outfit? If yes, what period? If no, what is your favorite dress style? Would I consider historical cross-dressing? Hell yes, I would. Like, absolutely big hell yes. I would love to do a Rococo men's outfit. Like, that would be amazing. I would love to make riding breeches and like a men's like Victorian riding habit, or even a Regency, not a riding habit, a riding outfit for a men's, but fitted for myself. I would make a Regency riding outfit, like basically anything that has to do with equestrian wear and men's outfits. I'm into Rococo for sure. I would definitely like rock a suit, like no problem. Yeah. I think being able to go to a costume event in pants, yes. Yes, I would love that. I'm not really a dress person, surprisingly. Not surprisingly, you guys have all seen me a million times. Like, I don't know why I think that's surprisingly. I make lots of dresses, but honestly, I don't like dresses that much in my daily wear. I wear almost 100% pants or shorts, or I don't wear skirts. Like, that's not my jam. I wear jeans and a t-shirt most of the time, so I'm super casual, not very girly. So yes, I would. Okay, I was wondering if this one was gonna come up. If you don't mind, what was the terrible thing that stopped you sewing for 5 years? Okay, so I made Iron Man for Dragon Con about 8 or 9 years ago, I would say. I think it was 8 years ago. And I got good reception and I felt really good about it, and it was my first, like, let's say skill leveling up outfit that I made that just like rocked my world, that I actually got it done and I was super proud of it. Like, usually I get done and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. Like, there's flaws in it or whatever, but with Iron Man I was like, that's solid. And I wore it at Dragon Con for 9 hours, and when I was done, it had been 98 degrees and 98% humidity, so the thing was like wet on the inside, like gross. Like, there was a high water mark of my sweat in there. It was disgusting. So I did the stupidest thing a costumer could possibly do, and please learn from my bad example. I got it dry cleaned. And when I got it back, it's ruined. I wore it at costume college. Nobody noticed that it's ruined. It's fine. Like, I can wear it around and stuff and people seem to think it's pretty awesome and whatever, but it's ruined in my book. Like, the fabric has no sheen anymore. It has these weird like micro wrinkles in it. It has this one section where it looks like every other warp thread was taken out. Like, on the middle of the bodice, like, it's horrible. You can't see any of it from 5 feet away, but I know it was ruined. So when I got it back, I was marginally devastated. Just like, you know, if they didn't know what they were doing with it, they should have just said no to dry cleaning it instead of dry cleaning something that they didn't know how to deal with. So when that happened, I just got really disheartened, like really disheartened. And it stopped me from having the joie de vivre of sewing and making costumes. And I still wanted to go. Like, I went to costume college. I think I went to Dragon Con and I brought other costumes that, I think I made one other costume afterwards. I brought some costumes that I'd already worn or whatever. It was just, it sucked the life out of me. Like, just to have something, I spent 120 hours making Iron Man. I was really proud of it. And then without even being able to wear it, like, I think I wore it twice. I couldn't even wear it more than twice, and it was just ruined. So it just like devastated me. And I don't know what happened. I just sort of like let costuming go in my life for a while. Yeah, so I still went to events. I went in plain clothes and I did handler things for my friends, so that they could have me carry their stuff and take pictures of them, and I could still have fun with them and enjoy the con and whatever it was that I was going to. But I had no will to sew something else, to pour my heart and soul into it and then have it get ruined. So yeah, I stopped for 5 years. And then this trip came up and I was like, okay, I'm ready. And I dove right back in. So that's what happened, for all of you that want to know what happened. And it seems stupid maybe to some of you, but it hurt my heart when that happened, like pretty bad. And like, I have a million other hobbies. Like I haven't, you know, I had that makeup channel, which is kind of defunct now. I don't really post to it at all because I'm happy over here, obviously. And it's really hard to maintain management of 2 channels. Like that's a lot, especially if you have a job. So, I mean, I have my job, I have lots of friends, I do lots of other hobbies. My husband and I travel all the time. So it wasn't like, you know, I just sat on the couch for the last 5 years. But I just didn't focus on costuming. Okay, what project would you say has been your most challenging to date? Iron Man. What made it challenging? I had no idea what I was doing. What did you learn from it? How to do those things. And would you do it differently if you were to do it again with the knowledge you have now? Yes, I would not dry clean that. Those were flippant answers. It was Iron Man, and what did I learn from it? I think Iron Man's gonna come up a lot, and I talk about it a lot because it was the first time I had made bustle dress before. I made that Cheshire Cat one, and I made another one actually too. But it was the first time I had to figure out like all kinds of weird stuff. Like Iron Man has, I'll put Iron Man on the screen so you can see it. Iron Man has like a centerpiece that wasn't in the pattern, so I had to figure out how to change a pattern, and I'd never done that before. And then I had to make a new pattern for that centerpiece thing. And then I wanted to make it look like a 6-pack, like metal 6-pack, and I didn't know how to do that, so I had to figure that out. And then I wanted to make the hat have the mask on it, and I wanted to learn how to do foam fabrication stuff. So I had to find a resource to help me with that, and like learn how to cut foam armor and stuff like that, and glue it together with barge glue and spray paint it and do all the things you have to do to it. And then I wanted to light it up, so I had to, it was just so challenging to figure out how to do all these things that I had never done before. The gloves light up, the arc reactor lights up, and the eyes light up in the hat. So, and it's still not perfect. Like I need to change the lighting part of it, so I need to figure out some better lighting stuff. But my friend Sarai, who's Amped Atelier here on YouTube, it will be linked down below. She also has an Instagram that is so awesome. Her and her boyfriend Hal do that, and they do a lot of lighting for costume and daily wear. Like you can print out on your 3D printer, you can 3D print out like lighting effects for whatever you want. So I'm gonna probably talk to her about how to light up those eyes a little bit better so that they work more like I want them to. So yes, I would do things differently besides not dry cleaning it. Will you be doing any more collaboration costuming again? Cathy, Bernadette, and you look so stunning. I wish you could have filmed a short to really show off the dresses. Okay, so there is actually a short that we filmed, and it was in Bernadette's Coco vlog. I will link that down below. It's also in the playlist that's linked down below of costume college videos. Those are not just mine, they are like all my friends' costume college videos too. So Bernadette's video has a little short in it that does show off our costumes more. Which was super cheesy, and we got bored and went outside and filmed it. So would I do any more collaboration costuming? Of course. Like I don't have a choice. My friends are going to make me do that. So yeah, I would absolutely do collaboration costuming again. I would like to know which books on costuming you found the most helpful and why. So I'm actually going to do a whole series on this. I'm going to do book reviews on the books that I love the most, and some of them are sewing books, and some of them are books about specific movies that got costumed, and some of them are about costuming in general, or wig making, or cosplay, or stuff like that. So I'll do a whole series on that, so you're gonna get a lot of those, so don't worry, that need will get fulfilled. Okay, so we have 2 questions. Do you have plans for later in the year after you've recovered your sewing marathon? I'm curious what you think your channel will look like once this trip is over and you don't have to sew at such an intense pace anymore. Will we see fewer vlogs and more of other type of videos? So I will be trying to keep up the pace of my videos, and definitely providing a video every week. I think I like that. I love making videos. Like that's actually really fun for me. People are like, you know, you should just enjoy costume college, or you should just enjoy your trip. Like I am enjoying it. Like this is part of the enjoyment for me, is filming it. So I'm not just slaving away at filming for a YouTube channel that doesn't make very much money. I'm doing it because I like doing it, and I like sharing it with you guys, and I like seeing your reactions to it and stuff. So it is fun for me, and so I enjoy doing the filming process, so I will keep filming. I don't know what my channel will look like though. I think it'll probably be a lot of vlogs, but maybe not as many, and maybe well, I mean, there's always more events. Like, after this event is over, I will start sewing, and then there'll be another event, and I'll like squirrel on whatever I'm working on and go work on something for that event, because that is how I live my life. I think the first thing that I'm gonna do though when I get back is try to finish all my UFOs. Like, I have a list of the things I cleaned out. Like, I just got rid of any project I didn't love and think that I was absolutely gonna finish. And I have a list of all the things that need to get done. You're lucky it hasn't gone on the whiteboard yet, but it will the second I get back. And like, most of them are like mostly done. Like, I have a million miles of pleated trim for this dress. All I need to do is just finish pleating a little bit of it and then put it on my dress. Like, what am I even doing? What am I even doing? So I'm just gonna try and go around and finish all those things. My Cheshire Cat bustle dress, which doesn't need to be that, it's just pink striped. I do want to do something with, so I gotta figure out what that something is. Yeah, so I have lots of little things to work on, so I'm just gonna try and like complete things so I don't have a list of unfinished stuff to work on. That would make me happy. I'll probably do some hat making when I get back, because I've been jonesing for some hat making, and I have this bonnet that I want to make into something super awesome. So things like that will happen afterwards. But you will also get more book reviews. I have a stack of pattern reviews to do from the patterns that I used here that I would love to share with you. I actually have a corset that my friend Amber made at costume college, I want to say like 7 years ago, and she didn't finish it. She got super frustrated with the class, and then at some point I'm like, give me that corset, like, that you didn't finish. She was just holding on to it for no reason. She was not going to finish it. She was telling me she was going to throw it away. I'm like, give me that corset. And I looked at it, it's like, it's almost done. Like, she really just needs to like add some boning and like maybe bind the edges and like a few, I need to look at it, but it's not that much, it's not that far from done. So I'm gonna finish it and send it to her. So I'm gonna do stuff like that. I probably will make another Victorian corset at some point, because well, my Victorian corset that I have is the most comfortable thing I've ever worn. As far as corsetry is concerned, I would love to have like another pattern of a Victorian corset, maybe with a little bit of a different shape. Yeah, so I will be working on stuff like that. I do want to teach myself also how to draft a pattern from a grid drawing. I've been super nervous about that. It's one of those things that's just in my head, like, eat your own dog food, Noelle. Like, honestly, drink the Kool-Aid. It's in your head, just do it. So I'm gonna just do it, because that's how I handle things, is I internalize them for a little while and then I go, what am I doing? And then I just go do them. I'm like, Bernadette can do it. I mean, Bernadette's really smart, but so am I. So if she can do it, I could probably do it. And if I can't figure it out, I'll call it Bernadette and be like, yo, how'd you do that? So, or a million other people that I know that know how to do this, and I will ask them, hey, I'm stuck on this specific thing, help me figure this out. So I think that would be cool, and that would open up the entire world of Symington corsetry for me. So I'll probably be doing some of that. I do not want to be a corsetry expert, but I would like to be better at it. I've made, I want to say 6 or 7 so far. Every time I learn new stuff, and every one of them is a different period, so it's like starting all over again. I would like another pair of stays. I would like stays that lace in the front instead of the back, because I would like just any one outfit, any single costume where I do not have to have someone else put me in it. That's all I want in the world, is to be able to get dressed on my own. On my own. Okay. What do you do with costumes once they've been worn for whichever event they're made for? Do they just sit in your closet? That is a fantastic question. So the answer is, some of them just sit in my closet, because I cannot convince my friends to wear the stupid things again. So say Space Girl, Sailor Moon, and Hogwarts just sit around in my closet because my friends refuse to wear those again. And some of them have like torn apart their costumes. And they can't figure out how to get them, or where they are, or how to get them back together. So some of them languish in my closet. I do wear them for photo shoots. I will wear my Space Girl Sailor Moon. I have Sailor Neptune, I want to say, the blue one. we're just gonna go with Neptune. I actually really should have worn it to that out of this world space party that was at the pool party at Costume College, but I did not want to wear another costume. So I will wear them for photo shoots, and I will wear them to other events as possible. Like if I go to a Harry Potter event, I will wear my Ravenclaw thing. So I've worn Cheshire Cat a couple times. I've worn Iron Man like, I don't know, probably 6 times now. So the Regency thing will get worn anytime there's a Regency event, because I don't really want to make, I'm gonna make an overdress or whatever, and then I do want to make a ball gown, but after that I'm out. Like those are the Regency things I have. I'm not making anything else. If you invite me to a Regency thing, I will show up and I will be wearing one of these 3 outfits. So yeah, so and Watson is gonna get wear. Like I don't have to be Watson, I can just have a brown and cream bustle dress that looks awesome. So yeah, I wear them again. I wear them especially if I have like a con and I don't know what to wear, or some especially the ones that are group costumes. My friends ask me to show up in them to events so that they don't have to make a new costume either. So it all works out. So yeah, they get worn. I call some of them my wedding dress costumes, because you know, you wear it once and then you never wear it again. Except that I bought a wedding dress that was red, and I bought one that I could absolutely wear again, and I have worn it. I've worn my wedding dress to a con, and I wore it to Labyrinth of Jareth ball once. So yeah, even my wedding dress, I believe in wearing it again. This one's good. How do we know that smash ruffles were a thing and not just what happened to the clothes after being packed away for so long? Okay, so my answer to this is that we have paintings. And I don't think an artist would have sat there and painted for hours and hours and hours people with smashed ruffles unless those were actually what was on them. Like if they were fluffy ruffles, they would have painted the fluffy ruffles. But they painted smash ruffles, and so we know that smash ruffles were a thing. Also, people traveled back then too, and they had trunks and stuff, and so things got smashed in their trunks. So I think the smash ruffle just became a thing because it's easier than trying to keep a fluffy ruffle alive on a dress, especially if you're gonna need to travel with it or whatever. Gotta remember, like, closets weren't really a thing. There were armoires, of course, but a lot of things got like sort of packed away a lot of times, and so trims did get smashed, like just in general. So yeah. What resources do you use for trims on hats and costumes? Okay, what resources? So I go to a lot of classes, so I learn how to make trims in classes a lot of times, and they show you a lot of first-hand resources. Costume College frequently has classes that are like, learn about Victorian era, and then they go through the entire Victorian era and they show you all the different kinds of dresses that there were with all the different kinds of trims and stuff like that, and then they give you a handout and it has pictures of those trims on it. I also use book resources. I use the internet a lot. Paintings are a really big thing. Like if you can find a painting of someone, that trim is probably really accurate. I use fashion plates a lot, like a lot. Most things in fashion plates were actually made, so, or they are like the height of fashion, so they're a reliable resource to use. And sometimes I just make things up. Especially with bustle dresses. This is like one of the best things about bustle dresses, is like those people would slap on whatever they could on these dresses. Like anything that they had in their house that was even vaguely like contrasty or matchy, they would just throw it on their dress. So, and in every different way possible, all on the same dress. Like all the ruffles, all of the pleats, all the bows, all the ruching, all the everything would be on one dress. It was crazy. So you can kind of get away with doing whatever. So that's another reason I really like bustle dresses, is because sky's the limit. Okay, this one I actually am getting a lot, is how do you use your trim board? I think I should do a video on that, so I think I will. It seems really obvious to me, but I absolutely need to show you guys, because enough people are confused that it is obviously not obvious. So I just pin into it. Like when I'm making a certain kind of trim, I need to pin down into something. Let me pick you guys up and I'll show you, because this cork board is being used just like the trim board would be. Okay, so imagine that all of this cork here is a trim board. So see how these pins are in here holding this together right now? This is how you would use a trim board. These guys are being held up by pins. You can see them if I go over here. While they await being sewn together. This is how you would use a pin board. pinning each individual section down, you would use a pin board for this purpose also. So I don't know if this gives everyone like a little bit more insight. This guy also has the same thing with those that are popped up. But this is really good too. This is how you would use a pin board, except instead of pinning into the cork, you just pin into the pin board. And instead of having to do it on your wall, you can now do it on your lap. So this is how to use a pin board. Okay, this is very similar to one that we had in the last video, which is, do you choose your fabric for how it will look on you or how it will look for your design? I choose my design for how it will look on my fabric. So the opposite of both of those things. I don't even think about how it will look on me. I've never considered on whether or not a color would look good on me until I got that yellow bonnet on, and I was worried that yellow wouldn't look good on me, and now everybody in the Instagram is like, ooh, yellow looks really good on you. So I just don't think about it. Like, I don't care, I guess. I just like fabric and I like color, and so whatever that fabric is, I'm gonna make it into what it thinks it wants to be, and it will sing to me and whisper and quietly hint from a corner on what it would like to be, and then I make that dress. So yeah, I don't pick my fabric for the project that I'm working on. I pick my project for whatever fabric I have, which I understand might be sort of backwards for some people. Okay, just a few more. Was the costume inspired by Iron Man considered historical due to its style? Yeah, yes, I guess. It's considered historical because I made it from historical patterns. I modified it to look like Iron Man, but every part of it that lights up that is like Iron Man has a second piece that was also made, like the stomacher that has the arc reactor in it. I have a second stomacher that does not have a six-pack or padding or anything like that, and it's just the gold color, and it makes that garment historically accurate. The hat has a band which you can just pop off and pop on another thing that's trimmed in a historically accurate way, and the gloves that are lit up, I have the second pair of gloves that I can wear that are not lit up. So it is historically accurate because it's historically accurate, which is great. If you weren't working in your current technical field by day and as a costumer by night, would you be an actress? No, I would not. I'm super outgoing, but I actually don't like to be stared at. Like, I don't like to be the super focus of attention, which is I think why some people do movie acting and not theater acting, because theater acting is really intense. But no, I don't remember things. Like, I have to sit here and look at this for a bunch of questions, so like I could not remember those lines, so no. What did I want to do in my life? Okay, when I was little, I wanted to be He-Man, then I wanted to be a dinosaur, then I wanted to be a marine biologist until I realized that I'm allergic to shellfish and I can't eat regular fish either, which makes it really difficult. Because when you're on a research vessel, usually you catch your own food and that's a pain. I could have been another kind of marine biologist, but I don't know. It sort of lost its charm. Then I wanted to work for the United Nations, and now I really wouldn't have wanted to do that. I don't know what I would do if I wasn't doing my current thing. The thing about my job is that I don't really, it looks like a career of 20 years on paper. To me, it's not. It's just a job, and it pays for my hobbies, and it pays for me to like go to costume college and do those things. So I could pretty much do anything and be happy. I have done lots of different things and been perfectly fine doing them. I just need to get paid pretty well, and as long as that's happening, then I'll kind of do whatever. I'm not that picky. I have done my job for the last 19 years though, so. If you could contact a dressmaker, seamstress, sewing guru from any era and ask them a question, a single question, what era would you choose and what would your question be? I would like to know what they were smoking in the 1830s. Like, I just want to know, is that laudanum? Like, was your wormwood really good and the absinthe at that time? Like, what is it that made those sleeves, those dresses, and those hairstyles pop into existence and then pop back out? Like, what were they thinking? What were they drinking? Why did that happen? I would ask that. I might also, secondarily, ask about 18th century sleeves. I would love to know sleeve setting better and understand sleeve shape better. I would like to get a tutorial about that. Okay, I think that's all the questions that I got. If I missed your question, I'm really sorry. If I did, leave it again down below and I'll try to address it in like some sort of future vlog. I'll just be like, oh yeah, somebody had a question, let me answer it. So yeah, those were really great questions. Thank you all so much for asking such great questions and being curious. Like, that's awesome. I really appreciate it. I was kind of worried nobody was gonna want it, so to have so many questions was awesome. Yeah, leave me thoughts down below on if you have answers to any of those questions that you want to tell me about. Those are always awesome. Like, what was your favorite question? What would your answer be? What is everyone's favorite Disney sidekick? That is what I want to know. Like, I gave that question best question award because I was like, way to stay on brand. So yeah, definitely I would love to know what everyone's favorite. Also, are you peanut butter or Nutella? I really appreciated all the people who asked me the most random questions. Okay, so that was the Q&A. Leave your comments down below if you should have them. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Do all those things. The bell gives you an alert every time that I upload. They keep telling me to tell you that there's a bell. Push the bell. I'm happy no matter what you guys do. I don't care. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you guys very soon with the hair situation and packing for the trip and stuff, and then I'm on my trip. So woo woo. We'll see you soon.